How important is it to heal from a past relationship? Hmm, Very important. I'll share a story with you. When I was a lot younger, maybe I think I was 13 or 14, I was almost raped by a neighbor of mine. I went to his house to go and get a film for my cousins, and he lied that the tape was stuck in the VHS player. For those who know VHS player, you are old school. For you younger ones, it's a tape player that we used to use tapes and VHS recorders, not Netflix, in my time. Yes. And so he lied that, he didn't know how to operate the machine or something. So I said, open the gate. I mean, he lived opposite my house. So I said, open the gate, I'll come in and help you get it. So I went into the house and I just pressed eject and the film came out. And I'm like, well, I thought you said it was stuck or you had a challenge. And he grabbed me. And I said, why are you holding me? And he said, oh, he wanted to have sex with me. And well, I don't know how I got so street smart, but I wriggled out of the conversation and I made him open the gate for me to go and give the film to them in my house and then come back for this wonderful sex we're about to have. I convinced him that just as he wanted me, I wanted him to. And I showed him certain, ways that made him think, okay, yes, you're correct. And then he allowed me. And when I got to the front of my house, I did this to him and I ran inside my house. But one thing that thing did for me was I became very, very afraid of going to guys to their houses to see my friends. I would walk into your house, and then also I grew up with guys, and they did quite a number of naughty stuff. So I had this phobia for going to see any man in his house. It's either we meet in my house or we meet outside or something. Hardly my house actually, or maybe we meet at a bar or meet in a club or we meet outside. You would hardly get me come to your house or I'll come with someone else. And so I started to also check, the relationships that I was getting into. And I wasn't sure whether these people wanted to, it did something to me, is all I'm going to say. And if I have spoken to 90 people, 85 of them have a story very close to mine. Some even ended in sex, some ended with rape, some ended in some kind of molesting or the other, right? Abuse or the other. And we're all carrying this baggage. Some people have never said it to people before. Some people have never. Some people have. Some people have been brave enough to say, oh, some people have said half of the story and didn't say the entire thing. I've spoken to some people that were raped several times by different people. That after a while, it just was like, you know what? It's a normal thing. People will rape me everywhere I go to. And that became normal for her. Now imagine getting into a relationship, and especially if you want a healthy relationship. Why would you carry this baggage into another relationship? And how do you think you're going to act or react in that relationship? I'll give you another experience. The guy that I feel like I loved first, one day comes to my house and he's looking a bit morose. And I'm like, why are you looking sad? He said, no, he's just happy to see me, blah, blah, blah. And the following day, normally he would come to my house. He didn't come. 2 days after or 3 days after, I get a call from him saying he's moved to America. He didn't even say goodbye. Now, that really shattered me. So, how do you think I would walk into the next relationship trusting that that one also won't leave me? And I share some of these experiences because I carried all that hurt and pain into the next relationship and withdrew myself. In fact, when I met somebody I really, really now genuinely liked, I said to him, I don't do relationships. And if he didn't extend himself to say, then I don't kiss everybody that I date. And so if you can't date me, then we can't be intimate. And that's when I said, okay, I haven't got enough to give to you. And he asked me, how much do you have? I said 30%. He said, I'll give you 70. And I'm thinking, okay, right? Now, I went into that relationship believing that he was going to leave me too. So I was only willing to give 30% of who I was to that relationship until he proved himself to be worthy of my love. And then I added the remaining 70 to it. But at the end of the day, we didn't end up together. And that story for another day. However, that relationship grew over time, and I think we were together for maybe about 7 years, And so imagine what happened after that into my next relationship. I carried the hurt and pain into my next relationship, guys. And that's what we keep doing. So, right from when you're a child, you don't feel loved, or your father left you, or your mother left you, or one of them died, and you're just in this tough place. And then you meet somebody you like, the person leaves, so you just think that, everybody that I love leaves me. So, why would you carry 100% of yourself into the next relationship? And that's all you need to ask yourself. How really do I show up in this relationship today that is showing me the pain that I have carried into this? For you to have a healthy relationship, you've got to have a um, 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 healthy relationship with yourself and your past and your pain and your hurt, and transform them into something wholesome and healthy. And then you can give of yourself to the next relationship so that your next doesn't suffer for your ex. And honestly, if you do not heal from what cut you, you're going to bleed on those, or what hurt you, you're going to bleed on those who didn't cut you. And we're all a walking trauma. I call it uh, um, functioning traumatists. That's the word that I coined. We're all functioning through our traumas, and so we think we're good, but we're not good. So change your relationship with yourself, deal with your past, deal with your hurts. And I also say you can't do this by yourself, honestly. And you're not alone. I used to find it, I got to a point where I was in such a self destruct mode where I would know that this thing that I'm about to say would damage something or someone, and I will go and do it anyways, and damn the consequences. I had to seek help to change it. And I did everything that I thought I could, humanly possible, to change myself. But I couldn't, because the same ingredient that put you in something cannot take you out. So until I sought help and asked questions and really do a lot of therapy to find out why I was in that self-destruct mode and how I had become like that, I couldn't change it. But the moment I was able to find answers, I could. And now I don't have that challenge anymore. I only see the good. I never catastrophize over anything or anyone. And there's so much peace in my heart. So deal with the hurts with you and the pain. Go and see a counselor or a therapist. Come and see me. And let me help you transform the story and the patterns and changing it and repattern you in such a way that it will be empowering to you. Love and life. My name is Adela Kingsley James.